Hi guys, welcome to the New Year's stream. I'm just getting a few things just set up. And we're just about there now, guys. Evening, Lee. How are we doing, sir? Sound off if you're in chat, so I can reciprocate. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. I would like to be able to tell you what we're going to do, but I don't know. I think I'm going to just change character. Oh man, not good, buddy, not good. Hopefully you'll have more of a laugh in here than you are going to have in comp, but I hope it turns around for you. So simply decided to switch to the hunter because, well, why not? Plus I think now the hunter's my highest character. Nice one, man. I have every faith in you. Hardcore competitive competitor. You like that? Sounds good, doesn't it? So, the final day of 2020 is here. Feels kind of weird. It always does. Thinking about it in these terms, that it's the last day of 2020, it always feels kind of strange saying that. Last day of 2019, last day of 2019, not last day of 2020. Last day of 2019, 2018, 20... Always feels kind of strange. It's even stranger to think it's just Tuesday. Tomorrow is just going to be Wednesday. So, what would you say is the thing you've learnt this year? What does this year mean to you? I don't really know what this year means to me yet. I'll always remember this is the year that I started streaming. So yeah. I wasn't going to stream tonight because it is New Year's Eve but I decided, well, I'd set up a stream plan, and I didn't want to start cancelling streams and have people think that I was unreliable and you never know if he's going to be on or not. So even if we don't get many people turning up tonight, I turn up. So that's some nice tokens. Like I say, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Usual, I will warm up with some surprise, some bounties. Obviously one I don't have, so we'll take that. I think I think I'm going to go in and try a Nightfall. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to start the year off, or end the year the way it began, and the way I plan on continuing it next year, because I've really kind of body swerved the Nightfall thing for quite some time now, because I kind of just got bored of doing Nightfalls. You know, I much more prefer dungeons and like stuff like 0 Hour and Shattered Throne, Whisper. I just prefer those. Maybe because it's literally you against the enemy. Now you could say that it's always just you against the enemy, but I feel like with the introduction of champions and Barrier, Unstoppable and Overload, I feel like they've muddied the water. It's a little bit convoluted. You know, it's not just about you versus the activity. It's you versus the activity with a handicap. And the minute you start employing stuff like that, when it's like grounding someone and taking the phone off them. One punishment at a time, please. You know what? Now, some people might not feel like that, and that's fine. That's totally understandable as well. But me personally, as an activity, I feel like the revamped Nightfall could have been so much more. You know, it feels like they've kind of toned everything down a little bit. So, again, I will explain. So the 950, the 980, sorry, is it's where I want to be, and hopefully this week, excuse me, hopefully this week will go long strides towards me basically from now on doing 980s every week. You know, I've kind of been so lax on it, and it's because of this. Because I'm not getting into raid every week. I'm limited to the amount of pinnacles I can actually get per week. If I don't get the right pinnacles, I'm sitting at, you know, stupid amount of weapons that are all the same power, which, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some of us here that are on the same boat with that. So the most predictable way to get power level is to mindlessly grind bounties, and it's kind of a mindless grind. What's the end product? Well, I can go in this season and go and do powerful activity, powerful rewards. What is the overall payoff? Nothing. That's not strictly true. Okay? The overall payoff, one of the overall payoffs, is the fact that you know... No, it's not him. There it is. You now have tons of... excuse me. You now have tons of... Have I got one of those? I just trailed off there in the middle of that thought. I will come back to it. I'm just wondering if I've got dark chocolate motes. Yeah, you've got tons of resources. Because of all the grinding you've done. Yep, I do. You know, I have never had so many of some of these resources. It's that's the payoff. But in the greater scheme of things, is that really, is that a true payoff? Do I feel sated? You know? I don't know if I feel as if that's a good enough trade-off. I don't know if that's a worthwhile trade-off. Having tons of resources, tons of legendary shards, and then at the end of the season you go straight back down to whatever your gear level was, and because you maybe not have got the luck with gear, you might drop. I mean, you might have, this season obviously the gear goes up to 970. Yeah. Now I've done all my pinnacles this week and all my Iron Banner bounties. I've done pinnacles last week. I've done pinnacles every week, and I've gained 2 gear level. That's what I'm talking about. It's not it's not good. I have to do Gambit as well because I don't want to. I don't like Gambit. I find it to be it's okay. I don't fancy doing 100 matches though. And it's kind of what I've got to do now to get the catalyst for this little bad boy, for the Ariana, which it's a pretty poor state of affairs actually. So what we have Gentleman Shortbread, Eris, Petra, and yeah, no, there is that, or give people incentive for getting that additional power. So if you get to max gear level and say get 20 power levels, you start with maybe 3 or 4 power levels additional on top of your gear, because at the moment it's that sorry about this, guys. You're grinding. You're grinding bounties and activities and all this type of stuff to be able to go in and do other powerful rewards, and then at the end of the season you lose all the effort you put in. So imagine when Destiny 1 ended and everybody kicked up a stink or kicked up a fuss. Oh, I'm getting contact in Destiny 2 servers straight away. Don't you just love this game? Don't you just love it? Yeah, so at the end of Destiny 1, a lot of people kicked up a stink because we lost all our gear. And I get it. But that's basically in a different kind of in a different setting. It's not very different from what's happening at the end of every season. All the hard work and all the effort for power level is disappearing at the end of the season, and you're left with whatever RNG has allowed you to get for gear level. Now, if you're beating the raid on every character every week, you're obviously going to get to 970, which is a season, a lot faster than you are with people who maybe aren't doing the raid, but are doing their pinnacles, Iron Banner, whatever other kind of goodies we get over the course of a season. Iron Banner, I think, drops 3 times. It might drop 4 this season, right? Because it was such... No, maybe not. 3 times in a season. Now, I thought it was pretty poor. We're going to have to talk about Iron Banner a little bit, I suppose. Iron Banner. What are they thinking of? What are they thinking about with these quests? Did they not learn from last season when people were like, ugh, SMG kills. Oh, this kill. Oh, that kill. And then what did they do? I mean, you guys must have experienced it, right? You guys have experienced the joy of getting heavy. I mean, the joy of using weapons that maybe you don't like using. I am predominantly a sniper. And I don't mind being asked to use different weapons. I don't mind. Seeing what happened in Iron Banner this time, though, kind of made me question. I actually had this kind of idea that it must be me, right? It must be me that has an issue with the weapon bounties and all that type of thing. Because we had similar sorts of bounties in Destiny 1, right? I always pronounce his name wrong. I must be pronouncing his name wrong, because why would anybody name an android Arcite? But I'm pretty sure that was Arcite 99 was the Crucible vendor that you got power weapon bounties off and yada yada. And he used to give you weapon bounties and you had to go and get kills with certain bounties. Similar. But the difference was the whole community weren't tied to finishing a quest where they had to get kills with a certain weapon, and you ended up in a scenario where people were bubbling heavy ammo or, you know, just crowding the heavy ammo. It wasn't fun. You're not on your Titan, you're on a Hunter. It wasn't fun. Well, it wasn't fun from a quest perspective, but it was fun from a sniper's perspective. I did have a little bit of fun. I put something on Twitter earlier on of me, and it was literally just a day in Iron Banner where in the space of 2 matches I got 3 nice kind of snipes off 3 supers. Ended 3 supers right out of them with nice snipers. The last one was really nice. I was happy with the last one. Where else have I got to go? Yeah, the last one was Middle Tree Mockingbird. How you doing, buddy? Nice to have you here, sir. I think the last snipe was Middle Tree Titan. He had his wall up and he was coming towards me, and I just held my ground. And the minute he dropped his wall, sniped him out of his super. I got a bottom tree striker and a dawn blade. Pop, pop, pop. So I made a little kind of compilation. Just you know, rather than making it into a full video, just a little compilation. Which is why, if anybody is not, I don't really like asking people to follow me, but you can find all that kind of stuff on, you know, the YouTube and the Facebook and the Twitter page. I put different stuff on it. I'm not putting, you know, I'm not solely putting the videos that go on the channel on there. I put other stuff on there. Stuff that's maybe shorter or, you know, more niche. I put 2 sniping compilations up on the YouTube channel, and they're not the Facebook page, sorry, and they're not of me, they're of clan members from Destiny 1, just stuff that I had lying about that I'm now making like an archive playlist of D1 stuff and maybe older D2 stuff that I never put on the channel. So, yes, Iron Banner is the epitome of a hot mess. Now, maybe next time it will be different. Doubtful. See, I told you I always go this way to Devon K. So maybe a lot of people would have finished their quest steps by next season. In which case we won't have to deal with. I mean, it really was quite ridiculous watching what people were doing to get the heavy ammo. And like I say, I played a match where the team, they put 2 walls up in front of the heavy, and there was no, you know, they were getting the heavy, and literally 2 of them jumped up. I sniped 2 of them out the before they could fire the heavy, and the heavy just dropped to the floor. I mean, from a sniping perspective, it was fun. But then when I kind of stopped and thought, wait a minute, I've got to do this quest as well. I have to actually try and get heavy. For 2 matches, it was a nightmare, and then I just stopped trying to get heavy, and I ended up getting. I think I finished my Hunter and my Titan with 5 heavy kills each, because I wasn't going for it. Stopped going for it because it was ridiculous. That's not to mention, I'm not even talking about the state of matchmaking or the meta or, you know, the fact that people. Here's a question. Here's an actual question. How many of you guys have or do use Dust Rock Blues? No judgment. No judgment. I just want to know. And the reason I'm asking is, I've noticed that the Dust Rock is nowhere near as potent as it used to be, and I'm wondering if Bungie have gave it one of the famous, infamous silent nerfs, where they've reined the distance, or, you know, the range in on it. Do I? Look, chest in the moon. Swords Harbour. Kinetic. Power. Yeah, okay. What was this one? Chests. Yep, we'll get that. Yeah, it seems like the Dust Rock is not the thing anymore. Not enough space. So, like I say, you guys know the drill. We'll just have a bit of conversation, and I'll do some bounties to kind of warm up. Yeah, probably worthwhile. Probably worthwhile. Mockingbird. It's. I definitely haven't had. Eric, how you doing, buddy? You just start. Oh, Python, as in Gambit. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. So, you've just started using it. You just started using the Dust Rock to try and get the Python. Sorry, yeah. Okay, you've got one, but you've never really used it. Destiny Fun Police has a good Iron Banner crit video. Okay. I feel like the Dust Rock was like the thing. I mean, it really was. It was the thing. Everybody and their mother was using it. That was using a shotgun. And I have one, and again, just like what's already been said here already, I have one, never really used it too much, but I have one, and I had every intention of using it. Yeah, I'm more of a sniper. I feel more comfortable, if that makes any sense. I feel more comfortable using a sniper. Right. What's the heavy? Solar, linear, scout, bow, rocket launcher. Isn't it always rocket launcher? Chaperone. Ugh. Sorry, Mockingbird. Chaperone always gives me bad memories of Destiny 1. I hated the quest in D1. And I got it because it's a pretty easy quest in D2, and I've never used it. But that does come from the fact that I am a sniper predominantly. We've still got the Vex on the moon. I don't come to the moon very often now. I take it you remember that quest in D1. It was a ghastly nightmare. Come on. Is it just me or the Vex look like they're popping a squat whenever they go down? I expect to see little piles of radiolarian whenever they stand back up. It's like, oh, sorry. Show me your face. Am I... Whoa. It's Michael Jackson. Am I the only person that takes as much gratitude from... I really do take as much satisfaction, not gratitude, as much satisfaction from headshotting enemies in Patrol as I do with a sniper in Crucible. This... See, how are you doing, Shablo? Happy New Year to you, buddy. I hope the same as everyone else. I hope 2020 is your year. It's definitely going to be mine. So I don't know how anybody else is going to be anybody else's if it's mine, but no. I hope it's good for you all. Well, we spoke about this, and I spoke about this in confidence with the clan. And it's another point I was going to raise tonight and speak about it tonight, about how the seasons are kind of worked out and how predictably boring they're starting to become in respects to how they're kind of doling out the content. So I was going to speak about it, but as soon as you've brought it up, I will touch upon it now. I feel like... Oh, I hate these captains, man. Right here. I feel like they're doling out the seasons so predictably that for good content... Yeah, okay. So let's do this part first. I feel like the way that Bungie are kind of throwing out the seasons is we get a base game. So if you want to take it with Shadowkeep, although it's probably better to look at it with Destiny 2, Year 1, and then Forsaken, because we've already had them. So we'll do it with them, and then you'll see where I'm coming from. They released the base game, and that's cool. So we'll go with Destiny 2 Year 1. Now they want to know that was going to be a complete failure. Right? Now they released the base game, and that's the base game is what it is. Then, so in year 1 we had DLCs, year 2 we started the season pass, so you know, you'll have to do a little bit of kind of allowing for the fact they've changed the format from DLC to season pass, right? So the base game comes out, and that is the base game, right? If it's good, it's great. If it's not, they can fix it with the season pass, which seems to be the way of doing it. First DLC or the first season. Now, if we go with the seasons more than the DLCs, right? So more so Forsaking, because we're in that kind of thing now. So when the first season comes out, it doesn't really matter if it's. We don't really notice how good or bad it really is, because we're still playing. You know, the base game is still quite prevalent. So with the Black Armory, Season of Undying, you know, it wouldn't have mattered how bad they really were. We were still playing the base game. Second season, though, needs to have quite a bit of content, because by that point, we're starting to wane on the actual content. So we're relying on that season as the standalone content. When I say it's predictable, the way that they're doing the season, because it seems to be, we get the base game, good or bad. First season, ugh. Second season, ugh. Last season before the next expansion, gold. Absolute gold. Right? And you can look at the DLCs or seasons so far in Destiny 2 before we've had the next major expansion. In fact, you can go back as far as D1 and look at what we got for the final year. Year 1, we got House of Wolves. Some people weren't impressed with House of Wolves, right? Some people weren't impressed with it. We got Trials in House of Wolves, right? We never got any DLC really. We got an April update in year 2 of Destiny 1. In year 3, we got the Moments of Triumph. We got all those raids brought back, and that 13-page book. It was diamond, right? Destiny 2 year 1. Osiris, well, I actually quite enjoyed Osiris, but then we got Warmind, which brought us the Whisper mission and collectibles and scannables and hidden stuff and exotic quests and stuff that we hadn't had in the game. Gold. Year 2, we get Season of Opulence as well last year. Gold. Whatever we get for next season, now bearing in mind the first season was 68 days long, 69 days long. This season is nearly 90 days long, so it's 365 days in a year. We're probably going to get another 2 seasons, right? It's going to be something around that. Depending on, and I'm probably just... Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's not so much just history repeating itself. It's like they saved the best content for that final year, that final run-up to the next big expansion, so that when it comes time to release whatever the next big thing is, we remember all the good stuff, because we've just had a great season, right? It's not they get it right with the final throw of the dice. It's like they're testing stuff all year, and then when that last season needs to be pay dirt, because if it's not good, when that next big expansion comes out, we go into that next big expansion with the memories of the season that wasn't so good. Needs to be the best season to make sure that people go and buy that expansion, because they're coming out of like a really good kind of time. They're coming out of a good place. So I would just like to see that last season, and it just seems to happen too often for it to be coincidence. I would just like to see that last season implemented sooner and then continued. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't run a multi-million-dollar company that has millions of subscribers to deal with and millions of followers and has to pay tons and tons of wages. Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. It is a smart marketing strategy And they've got more at stake than you or I have. All we've got at stake is what sort of content are we going to have for the next year. They've got people's livelihoods at stake. So, based on that, who am I to say what they should do or what they shouldn't do? But if I was asked for my 2 pennies worth, it would be, whatever you're doing right with that final season, can we not skip the, can we not always be, the test dummies for season, for every year's season 2 and 3? I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on, Season of Dawn? What do you think so far of Season of Dawn? I will not elicit any of my thoughts until you guys let me know how you feel, so that I'm not influencing the cauldron, if you like. You guys happy with the way this season's gone? Do you think it's went pretty good? Oh, I love doing these long range bow shots. Oh, I did get him. Oh, of course, he's arc shield. Hello, Mr. Salvatore. Wow. I think that, so what I'll let you guys come back to me with what you think about this season, and I will address second part. Now, I've heard this okay, that's a nice way to put it, actually. That's a nice way to put it, that you're getting what you pay for. Which is wholly accurate as well, because it's not even a tenner. US, it's about, yeah. All good points. All good points. So you're about £8 for the season, at $10. So the Trails thing, right? So Saint 14 is coming back, so coming back. He's here. Saint 14's here. The battle pass, as in, what do you mean, like the 0 to 100 malarkey? Is that the battle pass? This thing? Not this thing. This thing. This seasonal pass? Yeah. Oh, okay. If you don't mind me asking, what is it about it? Not that I'm disagreeing, I'm just interested, because I actually, well, I suppose, yeah. What is it you don't like about it? Because that's an interesting one. It's always, it's all information, isn't it? Everybody's going to have a view on something, and if you listen to everybody's view, and you can make an informed opinion of your own. Mockingbird, same. Yeah. I'm with you with the sundial. Dawning's a bit of fun. I can see the fun in it, although the one thing I would add to it, or add to that point, is 3 weeks so far of it. Was there ever 3 weeks content in it? So look at that. A Christmas bonus. Shut up. The rewards don't see... Yeah. See, I would go so far as to say I'm not the greatest fan of this season's artifact. I think some of it's pretty good. Yeah. 4 weeks too long. I'm totally with you there, Mockingbird. I don't think there was enough sustainable. There isn't enough of a sustainable activities, or there isn't. I think they've stretched it. They could have condensed it. You would much rather see drop this quest Shablo. Well, I mean, I quite like the season. I quite like the seasonal pass. Oh, this is what I love about having Destiny people in the chat. If you're not a Destiny person, you're in the chat, or you're not like a hardcore, you should listen to some of these guys' comments they're coming out with. Because these are educated guesses. This is good conversation. This is why I prefer streaming as opposed to making videos, because I can have a direct line of communication backwards and forwards. When you're speaking, if you're watching your run and you're doing commentary, you're getting no feedback. But all I ever wanted to do was have conversation about Destiny. I want to help people get through stuff, but the conversation is the biggest thing for me. So let's go back. Right? No more questions. Give me 5 minutes to answer some of this stuff. First off, Trails of Osiris. Emphasis on Trails of Osiris, because I do not think they will bring back the memory that is the Trails of the Nine, because it kind of sullied the activity. This is very true. Lee, they do. So we are building something, right? We're building towards something. So let me just, if I can direct your attention to the screen, and if we can go to Flare, and we go down to Activities. And I will direct you to said emblem that's on its way, right? This is an emblem we're going to get for donating. If it's to be believed, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, but if it's to be believed, you get this emblem. I don't know if it's linked to a triumph or something. Yeah, contribute to the Empyrean restoration effort. And I think you get this for donating 5,000 fractaline to the said Empyrean. The word Empyrean means a place where, like, elevated to the highest level. Like, in history, they would say stuff like, where man meets God, and the Empyrean. It's the highest kind of. In ancient mythology, they believed that it was made of fire, and it was like, where you ascend. You ascended to this place. You like heaven, but something. Nirvana. And it kind of, if you really do want to make a stretch, then the Nirvana for the Destiny community is Trails. Right, but that is a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure what the Empyrean is going to be within Destiny terms. But this is what people are talking about. Are we building, wouldn't it be cool if we built our own kind of trails over the course of a season, and then the Destiny devs can say we brought it back? I'm not 100% sure that's the way it's going to go down, though. I do not see, and I could be wrong, but I don't see that there would be any point in bringing trails back to Destiny 2. I just don't see the point in it. Destiny 2, when you go as low as D2 did, and you go as high as Forsaken did, it doesn't matter how many times, it doesn't matter what, and I'm not talking about us as players, I mean for the future of the game. But Destiny can't fail now, because it doesn't matter what happens to it next. They'll always have that, well, they saved it before, it's come back before, it will be given that time, because they have rescued it before. I reckon if you want to start on the front foot with the next kind of big Destiny game, you package it with Trials. I think it would lose just a little bit of its mystique and its, panache even, if you brought it into Destiny 2. It would just be like, there you go, guys. Now, do I think Trials is going to come back? 100%. What makes me think that? Nothing to do with this season. The Empyrean, no idea what the Empyrean's going to be. I have no idea. I would be a liar to even say I could hazard a guess at it. It's too early in the year to have the, there's an exotic weapon linked to this thing. You've got 20 minutes to complete it. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's too early in the year to have that. We normally get that between second to last and last season. That's normally when we get it. But whatever it is, I think it's going to be like the final step in the sundial. It's going to be the thing we do to shut the sundial down. Because everything that happens from now on will close down. There's not going to be anything that's going to happen in a season that's going to be like, what happened to the stranger? We're going to answer all the questions that they're asking. So whatever it is, I think it's going to do that. But I think Trails won't go. So the long-winded explanation basically ends with, I think Trails will be saved for the next big incarnation of Destiny. And the reason why Trails is 100% a Trials-esque thing is going to come back is the man that was synonymous with D1 Trails when it was Trails, when it was the thing everybody loved, that put it at the top of the Twitch stream for 3 years, and was probably the most exciting piece of content PvP wise in the game, there was a guy that used to play it called Real Crafty. I'll get onto that. 2021 could be, mate. There was a guy that used to play Trials called Real Crafty, and he used to do 1v3s and carry people to the lighthouse. And then when Trials died, he came back to D2 to play Trials, and he was #1 for ELO in the world, which is not a big thing, but he still had it. Trials died, he left Destiny, he went to Fortnite, and now he's got like is it TCM? It's a Fortnite clan. I wouldn't know because I don't play it, and I don't really watch Trails stuff. Fortnite stuff, sorry. I think it was Fallout Plays that said that, like, on the down low, Bungie called in a heap of streamers to test a game mode. Oh, you're getting a headshot for that. Oh, Jesus. Maybe you're not. And one of them was Real Crafty. Dr. Lupo, all these guys that were all synonymous with Trails were brought back to test a game mode. And I was like, oh, we'll see. And then, like, about 5 days later, Real Crafty released a video saying, you know, this was him back in D2, and it showed him starting up again, and you know, he was rubbish and just getting better and better, and then the last bit of the video was a full game where he dropped like 30 kills with a sniper. So yeah, he went to the summit. Yep. So Trials is going to come back. And I'm not saying Trials of Osiris. It's definitely not going to be Trials of the 9. I'm not saying that, as a lot of people have said, I'm not saying Saint 14 is going to be a revender for Trials. I know a lot of people think that's going to happen. I know that when you do the final mission, not the final mission, when you do one of Saint 14's missions, he's like giving call-outs. He's like 2 for 1, and you know, Crucible call-outs. So a lot of people took that as, oh, he's definitely going to be the Trials vendor. We'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So Trials for me is definitely coming back. What was the other thing? Battle Pass. Battle Pass. We'll go straight to the Battle Pass. We'll come to SRL after the Battle Pass. I think the Battle Pass is... personally, I like the idea of it. I like the idea of it because the way I always look at content like this is there are people... I have no more of that. There are people in this world who struggle to get stuff done, right? Now, I personally know and have read and seen that there's people still at like level 11. Now, I know that there are some people that are going to think we shouldn't be catering for those people. Of course we should. We should be catering for everyone. The Battle Pass gives people predictable rewards. You know what you're going to get when you get to 10. You know, it's a carrot on the stick as well. Right? A lot of people don't like it because we've kind of perceived to have followed the Fortnite route. Other way about. We had this back in Destiny 1 with the Rise of Iron book. I believe that was one of the first types of seasonal pass, or you know, reward pass or battle pass. I like it. I don't know how I feel about having... I think that the thing that I would like to see coming from the Battle Pass, I don't know if I'd like as many exotic rewards or exotic engrams, because I think they whether they should or whether they shouldn't, it's a different story, but I feel like they've lost their... I think exotics in general have lost their wow factor, if I'm being honest. Oh, Jesus. I actually jumped there when my screen started flashing. I was like, oh, Jesus. I'm becoming an infirm old man. Oh, what's going on? All these newfangled TVs. Okay, we're going to kill these. Yeah, so... I think exotics in general have lost a little bit of panache. I think they've lost a little bit of, you know, a little bit of, oh my god, I wonder what it is, as opposed to shards. I got an exotic engram shards. So a lot of little kind of tweaks that I would like to see them make to the game. And if I'm being honest, personally, the Battle Pass is one of the few kind of... I like it. So I don't know if I would want it fixed. But if they were going to fix it, you could take the exotics out and make them more quest related. But you have to be careful. Because if you... It's been touched upon already in this, and it's something I do agree with. To a degree, I think Bungie have replaced fun with grind. Now, whereas you can have both of them, you can have, you know, grind be fun and all the rest of it. I think they've kind of took it too far There's very few things in the game that feel like fun, as opposed to, really, this couldn't have been, oh my god, this couldn't have been more of a perfect time to bring this up, because I've literally, really? I've literally been speaking to members of my clan about this today. Lee, you're here. Laura, you're probably in the background somewhere. Hi, Laura. Say hi if you're here, Laura. Laura. Hi, Evan. So there's just to clue you guys up before I get back to the subject. These are members of my clan who sit in the stream and don't say anything. Feel free to say what you no. Yeah. They've replaced fun with grind. The thing I was talking about when I said that I've been speaking to my clan about it, stop shooting me, is I was talking about the Ariana's Vow quest. Now, we spoke about this last stream or the stream before. Shablo, I believe you were in on this conversation. I said, and stand by what I said, that I understand that it's worthwhile getting. I just think that what you've got to do to get it is extreme. You could just take that over to just about every subject, every weapon quest. I know now why it's so grindy. I probably should have done it last season, although my kind of heart wasn't really in doing Nightfalls per se last season. It's because now we're not getting the times 4. No scope. That'll do. Oh, Exploder. Does it count if it's in quick play? Fun economy. Fun economy. Yeah, there needs to be a balance. You can't just have grind, and then, as I've seen with these memes where they go, oh, look at them moaning, but they asked for grind. No, we asked for some more grind. We didn't ask for the game to become a grind. There is a difference. I like the fact that I've got stuff to grind. I just look at the stuff I've got and go, man, is there anything here that isn't a grind? Oh, that's ridiculous. It seems like everything in the game is just, you want it. You have to play 473 matches to get... Oh, man. He's so good. I'm not. Okay, right. No. I think they've just... It's typical Bungie. I've spoken about this before, that I believe that the type of stuff they do is, it's like, this is broke, and they go, right, we're not going to fix it, we're just going to take it away and replace it with something else that probably might need fixed as well. Just fix the stuff we're talking about. The game was too easy. Now it's not too hard. Okay, let's see who remembers this. When was it? When the Taken King came out, they left Croter and Vault Glass behind. When they were asked why those things had been left behind, their reasoning was, we are trying to respect the player's time. We always want to respect the player's time. The grind and what they're doing now does not seem like they're respecting the player's time. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Special ammo, please. Oh. Okay, nobody's seen it. It didn't happen. I didn't miss that shank twice. It seems like they're doing the opposite. It seems like it's like, oh, they said they don't have enough to do. Let's make everything take 430 matches to complete. Just a side note, and nobody might be interested in this, but I thought I'd bring it up. In Destiny 1, remember you could go on Destiny Tracker and look at the most ridiculous stats in the game. I remember going on there with a friend of mine, and we were looking at specific stats, and I was in the top 1% for ranged kills in Crucible, right? Because I'm a sniper, and I... Thank you. Have I even done that? Have I finished that? And my buddy that was with was like, oh man, that's... God damn it. I've been running about this for ages. I bet I finished that ages ago. And he was like, oh man, that's amazing. And we had a look at his stats, and he was in the top 1% for suicides. If you don't know what a suicide is, it's basically YOLOing it into a bunch of people, not getting any kills, but dying repeatedly. I don't have to tell any of my clan members that are in this stream who that person was, but I'm not going to say his name. But yeah, it's too much of a grind. Yeah, and it just seems to me... Bye. It just seems to me that it was convenient to say that then, because it was an easy explanation for why they weren't going to bring the raids back, because they were always going to bring them back, but marketing, I suppose, they were going to bring them back at a time where it was cheap content for them to make, and you know, players still wanted it. I mean, I'm going to be honest, if they just never made another raid for D2's the length of D2, but they brought back the Wrath of the Machine, Vault of Glass, just spruced them up a bit, changed some of the rewards a little bit, kept some of the rewards. I don't think the player base would moan about that. I really don't think the player base would moan about it. Right, what was the next one? What was the next one? Yeah, and it's not an infinite power grind. That we need. I definitely know what you mean, and I'm not saying you're wrong with that, but 100% that's the way it seems. Like it's infinite, right? But it is not, because once you get to those high power caps, you're being asked. I mean, it's crazy the amount of XP to get a power cap once you get past 20. I mean, you oh my god, it never happened. Well, when they said about this infinite power grind, I questioned it straight away, because I thought, well, are they meaning that you can just grind infinitely, or are they meaning you can increase your power infinitely? And I don't see that happening. But they did say, you are correct, Shabble, they did intimate that you could hit, that it was possible to hit 999, which it was. A couple of boys hit it, that we know of. And 99% of the Destiny population, doesn't matter how hard they ground, didn't hit it. Because it's not an infinite power grind, it's an infinite grind for power. Clever way to word it, I suppose, but... And the infinite power grind is a seasonal grind, because it resets at the start of every season. And as we said, I think we might have spoke about this just before. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm again, something that we spoke about before. I remember when I got, I think last season, I got 981 and noticed that, nightmare hunts and all that stuff just started to become that little bit easier. But I think if you max out your gear level and then increase your power level to a certain degree, the next season you should start with a bonus amount of power. Just basically, now there's an incentive for getting, nothing crazy, nothing stupid, but just, So what's the gear? 970 this season. So if you got to 990 this season, then at the start of next season, bearing in mind we are talking about you've got to hit max gear level. Then next season, when everything tones back down to 90, you start at 970. Those guys start at, say, 973. As in recognition of the work they put in for the previous season. Just little things like that. SRL, yeah, it's got to come back. It's never left the mouths of the NPCs in the tower. They're always talking about it. And you go. Is that all this done? You go to your sparrows and read the tooltips on some of your sparrows, and they're constantly. I need one more chest. They're constantly talking about it. You know, the tooltips for the sparrows always reference SRL champions. So, again, I don't understand why it hasn't come back, but maybe because it. You know, let's be honest, it's been asked for quite a bit. So it wouldn't surprise me, just like Trials, if they're holding off until it will really make, be like, oh, we've got this, oh, and they've got this, oh, and there's this, oh, Jesus, why, this is the best day of my life. Whereas in fact, it's probably, at this moment in time, they probably have a working version of SRL. Maybe not ready to go, but not far off ready to go. And it's just, creative, intelligent, whatever you want to call it. It's a marketing ploy that they've they're being clever with. It's not, we don't have it to roll out. It's more a case of, well, we've got it. But what do we gain from rolling it out now? Basis what, versus what will we gain if we hold on to it and release it? Let's go big. Let's go big or go home. Let's give them Trials. Let's give them SRL. Let's give them, it wouldn't surprise me if Vault of Glass was a playable area in the next raid. Crota was the first dungeon that we'll get in the raid. But Crota is now, the Dark Below has been taken over by his daughters, who have found a new champion for us to fight. That's a reference to the Pit of Heresy, just in case anybody didn't understand the reference. The Pit of Heresy, Zolmak, is the champion that the daughters of Crota, they got. So Court of Oryx is where what all his champions are. They basically got them all to fight amongst each other, and Zolmak won. So he was picked as the successor to Oryx's throne, and the sisters of Crota, the daughters of Crota, they didn't think he would be able to beat us either. Because if Oryx couldn't beat us, he can't beat us, right? So they never really held much sway in him. So they're, as far as I remember, as we are now, where we are now, they're looking for a champion to defeat us. Someone that they feel like can actually, beat us. Because Crota couldn't. Oryx couldn't. Do you know who they should bring as the next leader? Trevor. Nobody ever beats Trevor. Trevor should be the new Hive champion. Oh my god. Yeah. That would be so cool. A raid boss you can't kill. Now that's actually a good idea. A raid boss that you can't kill. But you have to perform actions. Kill his minions, perform actions, and stay alive to beat him. Or her. No sexism in this chat, I'll tell you that. Girls and guys, boys and girls and boys. Trevor, highest KD in Destiny history. Till I come up with a foolproof way to beat him. But I must admit, he, he took a couple of my scalps to get into that. So, not me and Lee used to run. Me and Lee used to run this quite a bit, and it was always a nightmare of, say, I don't think he'd mind me saying, no, I reckon I got to Trevor first more than he did. But it was a nightmare if, when he got to Trevor before I did, or when I got to Trevor before he did, because you were out of sync with where Trevor was going. Now you basically had to guess. Oh, that was a nightmare. I think sometimes I used to get there and then like I'd be doing it with people and they would get there and they'd be like, all the things have reset. I've got to do all the levers again. Oh, that's fine. I'm at the boss. Another one I'd done was, I don't know if Limac's here, but I took Limac through it and he was struggling with the jump and he didn't know the jump. And this is the 0 hour quest for anybody that doesn't know, for the Outbreak Perfected. And I was like starting to get annoyed at the boss and stuff, and he was like, it's okay boss if we don't beat it, because he couldn't get through the jumping puzzle. And I was like, you need to get here. I knew he didn't know the jumping puzzle, but I still wound him up about it. I was like, Limac, you're going to have to get here. I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. And he's like, he's getting really uptight. I think I'd done it with you as well, Evan. And they're getting really uptight because obviously they didn't know the jumping puzzle. As simple as that. And then I start saying stuff like, no, we're not going to do this. I'm just not going to do it. And they're like, all right, I can't do this jump. Or, getting really angry if they die or something. And all of a sudden, they get the gun. Because I'd almost had it beat when I was saying this. I just wound them up about it. Yeah, lol, fun. It wasn't fun at the time for us though, mate. Thinking back, it was fun. Now, see, when you look at a very simple idea like the 0 hour quest, the Whisper quest, the mission, not the quest, just the mission, and then the idea of rerunning that 3 times on heroic to get the catalyst. Content done right. That is content done right. It's quick. It's not quick. It's not quick for them to make it, and it's not quick for us to do it. But it's one and done. You have to beat the content to get the gun, and then you have to go in and beat it on 3 separate burns to get the catalyst. And then if you so choose, there'll be a puzzle somewhere in it, and you've got to solve the puzzle to get the ship. Content done right. That is content done right. Yeah, 100% Sharple. That's my favourite things in Destiny so far. Destiny 2 have been the Whisper, 0 hour, Shattered Throne. I would have liked something more like Chasma Screams. Take a strike that's already reasonably challenging and make it like steroids. The burn in the floor. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of things like that I don't understand. I don't see the point in tying exotics like that to raids. Okay, I'm going to say hands up. Oh, I just realised what you meant by the burning floor. The heroic floor plan. We had some fun there, I tell you. I was going to say hands up, but fire it out in chat. How many of you guys haven't beat all the raids? Now, I will add definitely that I've the one I need to beat now is the Garden of Salvation. I've been to the part before the boss, but it's been more of a numbers thing than anything else, you know. How many Mockingbird, Eric? How many have you beat? Shablo, there's a question. Yeah, Lee. Thanks, but thanks. Lee, you're the only one in here that I actually know. You've never done Mockingbird. You've never done a raid. Okay, and you're on PlayStation, right? Yep. See, I enjoyed the D1 raid experience because there were solo elements of them, and it was the bosses. So, unlike the D2 equivalents, where it's basically the first part of all the raids practically you can solo. You know, some of the raid layers and everything that isn't released with the base game I class as a raid layer. So I believe that Garden of Salvation, Last Wish and Leviathan are the 3 raids we've got. Everything else is a layer. You can, you know, on most of them you can solo the beginning. But it was the opposite way with Destiny 1. It was the bosses you could solo. So, you know, and that made a bit of sense to me because although you needed self-res Warlock for them all, Barkrota, raid teams would normally fall apart, as you say. You would get the first couple of encounters done, and then the minute it started, you had to do a couple of repetitions, which anybody that's ever raided for any length of time knows that is what happens when you're learning how to do the raid, is you fail a lot till you learn, right, maybe I should switch weapon. Oh wow, do you guys know if you stand here that you're safe from there? Oh, do you know we can do this first and then that makes this easier? And it's just bit by bit, and then all of a sudden, it's normally you come out and go, oh, that wasn't great. I didn't really enjoy that. Oh, we'll go back in and try it tomorrow, and then it clicks the next day. That's normally what happens. You just get that mental fatigue, and you have to take that break. It's good. It's good for everyone. But yeah. I must admit, I'm probably not as big a fan of the D2 raids as I was the D1 raids. Well, I would say stuff like Scourge, Crown. I'm not going to count D1's raid layers because they're just not very good. I think they're decent pieces of content. Scourge was decent, and Scourge was decent, and so was Crown. I would class them as raids. I wouldn't class them as dungeons, but that's me. I would because you know, dungeons are built to be soloed. You know, they are in their inception. They're built with a solo element. There are ways to do it solo. Now, there aren't in the raids, just the dungeons. Although people do work out how to do raids, but they're bending the mechanics of stuff. I think if any time you have to bend mechanics, then it's not a true solo. It's like Kali. So I went in and gave Kali a bit of a going over because it's a piece of sniping content, and that's what I like. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would agree. I give Kali a good few hours. 10 hours worth of game time. And about 4 or 5 times got a well under half health, and I mean a considerable amount under half health in the first damage phase, and never got the plates in the second one. Never got any plates next to each other. 3 times, and at that, to get those plates anyway took me about, to get the 3 lots of plates took me about 2 hours. I figured I can't make a guide on that because I need luck, and anything you need luck in, I'm out, because I do repeatable. If you do this 100% of the time, this is going to happen. It can be done pretty easily now. There are other ways to do it. But, no, again, and the only reason I've done it is because I've seen all these people doing it. I've seen all these things, people doing it. And I was like, oh, you kind of get drawn into it a little bit, where you're like, right, I do solo challenges. Is this really a challenge? Have I got to do this? Have I got to do this to stay relevant? And it's the only time I've ever... Yeah, Argo's the same. Yeah, although Argo now can be done... a shaved monkey now can do Argo. But again, it's a raid layer. I've never done Spire Stars. I have done Argo. I have done Eater of Worlds. And it was only because the clan needed it for the Age of Triumph, because you needed to, and the way it kind of worked was we were going to do, you see that? That was pretty cool. I don't even know why I'm still running about. I don't think I need to be here anymore. Yeah, but that was the only time I ever felt like that should I do it to stay relevant? That's the only time I ever felt pushed into doing any content because it had already been done. Wow. So when I went in to try it, I never felt like that about Argo at all. Wow. Halfway towards the next power up. I felt like Argo was, while we're on, yeah, the solo Riven thing though, you've got to guess the eyes, right? That's the issue I've got with that as well. Is you've got to guess the eyes. And a guy that I've spoke with before a few times got it done, and it took him 5 hours to get the eyes right. And it was like, oh my god. Anything like that, your first part of your guide is, right, so see this thing, if you can get the eyes right. Yeah, I suppose if you do it if you do it as a one phase, but as I say, back when it was like other people were doing it and I'd seen it was people guessing the eyes, which is why I was seeing that somebody had put on they Titan bubbled the leg and used a sword with a taken spec, and I was wondering if because I got if you had a perfect paradox. I've got one with trench, I've got one 1-2 punch, and with its fire rate, I was wondering if you bubbled the leg, put a taken spec on it, how much damage could you do, and then couple it with a sword. Yeah, definitely. That's why I never done it to start with, because I felt as if when you're doing the eyes, anything you've got to guess, as I say, the first part of your guide is, right, so you're going to do all this stuff. once you get the eye combination right. And it's like, okay, so we're just going to see you do the shooting. We're just going to, right, anybody can just shoot the leg that amount of times. You mean there's no actual set way to get the eyes? Nah, you just got to guess them. Oh, okay. I'm out. Yeah, I watched a guy that I used to play with. Him and his fire team went in. They just put one guy, one bubble guy, on the leg, and the other, everybody else stayed. Usual strat. Everybody else stayed in a well of radiance, and he was doing the same sort of damage that at least two of them were doing. And to be fair, I'm not even sure. I think he just sorted the whole time. Whereas in fact I probably would go with, if you had something like 1-2 punch or a trench barrel with auto loading holster, and just punch, put everything in, and then stow it and go to sword, and then the minute it reloaded, go back to it. Yeah, I was very much a sword player in Destiny 1. But I feel like, I don't know, I think the swords in Destiny 1 were better as well. I feel like the swords that we've got now aren't so good. I mean, they're good in the respects of what we are now, but can you imagine if you brought the Dark Drinker into D2? Bubble with Dark Drinker? Yeah. Be cool, right? So, I promised myself, yeah, the famous last words. We've data mined it. I promised myself I wouldn't do a 5-hour stream tonight because it's New Year's Eve and stuff, and so I don't know what. Yeah, I don't really believe a lot of data mined stuff, because it's some of it seems to me that it's remnants of code that maybe got caught up with Destiny 2 from D1, just caught up with Destiny 2, which would suggest that there's still coding from D1 in Destiny 2, which wouldn't surprise me either. I remember when they done they done a nerf on Mida, and then they done something else, and it completely put the Mida right back for a couple of weeks, right back to what it was in D1 when it was super strong. So sometimes I feel like they're still coding. I still feel like that they're using a lot of the coding that we used in D1, which is why I think some of the things I think that's why some of the things go the way they go, because I mean the net code is like super old, and there's lots of things about the game that yeah, definitely. 100%. I literally do not know what to do. Is Mars the flashpoint? I'm not going to do the flashpoint. I'm just checking. I'm still here. I haven't went dark. I'm just moving something. So apart from sitting listening to my inane drivel, what's everybody's plans for tonight, or is this literally your plans? Have you literally thought, you know what? I'll just sit and listen to Mondo. Bring in 2020 with Mondo. Which I appreciate. I'll put that on now. Still incomplete. Oh, go on then. Oh no. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got my answer, but let's put it to chat. What do you guys think? If you had to pick between the better piece of content, the more enjoyable piece of content, what would you say? Shattered Throne or Pit Heresy? What's your Shablo? That's a good one, Mockingbird. I went downstairs the other night to get a drink, get a can of juice. My family were downstairs throwing. My family were downstairs playing. It's you must have heard of the game Yahtzee, but we've got this. They've got this Yahtzee poker, and it's quite a cool game. And they were like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, nah." No, I'm not doing that. What's your Shablo? Throne or Pit? Throne. Lee? Throne or Pit? Throne. Probably wouldn't surprise you to find out that Throne's my favourite as well. As an experience, the whole aesthetic. Pit bores the backside right off me. I think there is too much of a disparity in. So the first, you know, the Necropolis. Just literally do everything from range and you'll be cool. The Tunnels of Despair. The Tunnels of Despair is there's one route that if you just take that route, you just have to kill the enemies in front of you and you're safe. Then you go to the Chamber of Suffering, which is like, did you take some of the difficulty from the first two levels and stack it here? And then the boss it just seems like there's no flow to it, there's no rhythm to it. That's maybe why it bores me a little bit. Is it just doesn't seem like for me. The throne could kill you in each area if you didn't pay attention. You know, and my case in point would be, in the first area you had those taking captains. If you weren't on your guard and they fired a shot at you, like a darkness blast, and then teleported and started shooting you with the shotgun, they could kill you. I mean, it could be done. Ogre section, if you didn't take your time, you blasted off pretty easily. And then there was also the harshness of the jumps. The boss is okay. It's yeah. It genuinely is. I think for me, Pit is nothing special. I think it's maybe in my eyes, it's quite a bit away from. It's just, I think it's a beautiful piece of content. It looks nice. I don't think you can deny that you know, and I wouldn't deny that the pit aesthetically looks very nice. But just the aesthetic, just, you know, it's more than just the way it looks. You know, yeah, the Shattered Throne, and the other thing is, and it's always going to be the case, Shattered Throne, we had nothing to compare it to. You know, we had nothing to compare Shattered Throne to, but now we do with the Pit. You know, yeah, I don't know. I know I'm probably in a minority about the Pit Heresy. It's just not what I would class as AAA content. You know, and not everything has to be AAA. I understand that, but I would take Crota back before I do the Pit Heresy. Yeah, it's because now they've got something to live up to. Which brings me on to another point, which is, where Destiny 2 failed to live up to Destiny, Destiny 3 doesn't have to live up to Destiny 1. It now has to live up to Destiny 2, which I think's an easier job. Maybe not the Destiny 2 we've got now, but over the piece, Destiny 2 has tripped up as many times as it stood up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would give the Throne for everything, for aesthetic, for the only thing it lacked was decent loot. You know, but the Pit isn't much better. I think the Pit's pretty bad for its loot. You know, I think going through all of that and coming out the end with one real piece, one drop, and then we had the premonition was supposed to be, it only dropped from the pulse rifle, only dropped from the Throne. Now obviously we've got the ship that drops from the Pit. Sorry, you've got the ship that drops from the Pit, but the premonition was supposed to be the Pit's reward type of thing. And actually, the first one I got was from completing the Altars of Sorrow. And it was like, oh, I thought you only got this from the Pit. Yeah, yeah, you can say that. But if literally imagine that there is only 3 drops from it anyway. You know, you get one at the start, you get one after Chamber of Suffering, and then one at the boss. So it literally would only be 2 more pinnacles. That would change it a little bit. Because I still, even though you're getting +2 drops, I still don't think there's enough pinnacles. I do not think we've got enough pinnacles in the game. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that shoots things in the face. So whether I'll be able to do this week or not, I don't know. But I am thinking that maybe I might give the 980 a go on Savathun. Yeah, I'm going to go in and have a look at the 950 right now. I'm not expecting to do it because I promised myself I wasn't going to do anything too strenuous tonight because I think my whole body is feeling that this is the last day of the year because I've never felt so tired in my whole life. Yeah, I don't expect to get the 100k. Uh, I'm I'm literally just going in to have a look. You know, when I done so, just a little heads up on the 100k from last week. I ended up doing, well, not solo, but me and Lee went in, and I was like, I can't believe I took these weapons, and I can't believe that. Who do I remind you of? A girl that you once knew? Sorry, it's an Usher song. You remind me of a girl. Sorry. Who do I remind you of? A nicer version of Say No to Rage. Is that a good thing? I've never seen him. Is it a good thing I haven't seen him? That's a bad thing, right? Alright, so let's see if we can get... Oh man. Who is he? Does he talk a lot? Is that what this is? Alright, so let's get... Oh, that's the worst grenade I've ever thrown in my life. Right, I'm gonna have to go. No, I knew I was gonna die there. What I'd done there was still not... Right, let's get out of here. That was my bad there. Right, let's see if we can drop some specials before we get out of here. I like to think that I know a little about a lot of Destiny. I have to be honest, it's so I've heard. It's super strong because it does that 1 in 3 out, but they are gonna fix it. And when I said this before on a piece of content that because I don't like to use things that are broke, because then it's a piece of, I suppose it's a piece of content for the moment, but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't used the Wish Ender since it's been broken. You know. Yeah, I know a bit about the lore, weapons, content. I like to think I have a good grasp on where the game's going as well. But I have to be honest, nose is a little bit kind of all over the place trying to sniff out where the game's going, because it seems like they dropped their initial the way that they were pushing the game, its initial kind of path, its route to the final destination. And I'm not even sure D3 will be the final destination. I can't see how they could prolong, you know, it's like a bad analogy, but you'll understand, I'm sure. It's like the Harry Potter film series. Once he fought Voldemort, where do you go after that? That is it. That's where the whole thing's been leading to. Once we fight the darkness, do we fight the darkness's dad after that? I mean, where do you go after that? The minute they announce the darkness's arrival, if it's and I would be very surprised if it's not an enemy we can defeat, or an. Come on now. Come on now. But once it becomes a thing, once darkness becomes a thing, then I don't really know where we go after that. Is there a bigger threat? Is this like, can we do like a Marvel Cinematic Universe that once Thanos goes, then now it's Galactus or whoever it's going to be next? You thought Thanos was the big bad. Well, older cousin's second removed is in. I just think that it could go silly. Yeah, I want this special. We'll do a bit of that, and we're out. And you know something? This is what you get for bad preparation, kids. Hello, Faye. How are you doing? The Wish Ender's everywhere in comp. Why does that not surprise me? Are you honestly trying to tell me that people that go in to play competitive will jump on the next broken weapon and use it to win matches? I don't believe you. I am a nightmare to myself. Yeah, I had to come out there because, unfortunately, I still had it set to the super that I was using in Iron Banner earlier today. I'm good, Faye. I'm very good. How are you? I hope you are also very good. Somebody has told me today in chat, and I've got it here in front of me, it says that because I must be a pretty intelligent person. They did add on Destiny, but I'm just taking it because it was Shablo, so I'm just taking it that he basically said I was intelligent. I did, Faye. I did. I got some lovely stuff, and there's a funny story about the lovely stuff I got. And the funny story is, I got some lovely stuff, and I haven't had it yet. My good lady got me a collectible Atheon. I've got to build it, and it looks pretty cool. And I got a limited edition Cade notepad. Why is that so limited edition, and why am I even mentioning I got a notepad for Christmas? Because it cost 26 quid for a notepad, so you can pretty much guarantee I'm never going to put pen to paper. But it's got limited edition art. It's like the front and back of it. the front and back of it are collectibles. Thank you, Shabble. I am quite an analytical person. I have, believe it or not, one of my hobbies is, it's not really a hobby. I forgot those bloody things do that. It's more of something I've done on the down low my whole life, which is psychology. I like to read people. There is like a massive truck outside my house. If you can hear that, I do apologise, but I don't know what he's doing. I would give him a reward for being able to get a truck down that street because it's tiny. I forgot about the fiery stuff. Yeah, and I got a new TV as well. And hopefully one day I can become a big fancy stream YouTuber and be able to afford some nice stuff. And I'm joking. I'm not really. I would like to upgrade my setup, but oh, traps. So just for you guys, I've said it already, and yes, I am going to say it again. You can ignore me the second time, as long as you didn't ignore me the first time. If you did, I'm going to say it again. There is some content, if you guys are interested, D1 content as well. Crucible, some of it's Crucible, on the Facebook page. I made a Facebook page ages ago for the channel, and I don't always put everything I make onto the YouTube channel, because obviously I try and give the people that are on the Facebook page something nice. And it was basically what it is it's right here, hold that, it's a couple of D1 Crucible montages that some members of the clan made quite some time ago, and I just had them kind of lurking, so I give them a little bit of an overhaul. So let's see if we can, 1, 2, 3, and I don't know why I tried to reload. Right, so now we'll reload, because he's probably gonna, now he's gonna want to put his shield up. Okay. So I think, because I'm just doing this as a tester, I'm not really doing this to get a high score. I just want to see what the score is here, these champions. Right, so that is that. So I think with the 980, I think these are all champions, whereas right now they're not. So we'll just tether those. Now it tethers those. And then we go here, get the invisibility going. Stand here. Throw. Come and get tethered. And we've got an unstoppable at the back. And then we'll stop him again. And that does that. And champion. Come on. Right, we're not going to chase him in there, because we're not wanting to waste too many of these specials, so we'll try and get this guy melted. And then what we'll do, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Yeah, I just went for it there. I figured if I hadn't went for it, he would have just reset. It is slow. But I'm not pushing it. Thank you very much, Shablo. As I say, I am an analytical person. And you've got your Xbox. Nice. Faye, you've got your on the Xboxy. Nice. I'm sure that we will catch up soon to do some stuffs. I just now we'll just use this to melt these. Careful for these fiery boys. Sound like the Jazz now. Oh, that's annoying. Right. Am I going to try and do this quickly? No, I'm not. Right, now I've got to be careful because and there we go. Which bow is that? This is the primary bow you get at the start of the game. At the start of Forsaken. No Turning Back, I think it's called. No Turning Back. There we go. Now he's going to put shield up. I need to stop doing that. And scene. So what I'm going to do here, I spoke to a few people and nearly everybody said stay here, but I'm not sure it's a good idea. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Right, come on, come out to play. Right, I want to keep some. And what we're going to do here is a real quick Alright, so now we need to try and get some special. That's a bad move, but we're good. Sometimes I wouldn't suggest it, but sometimes I feel like I take a little risk. It's beneficial. Be nice if he stopped teleporting, right? And now I'm not dropping any special. Got 5 rounds. Any special? Any special? Oh, I've not got fastball on or anything. Anything's. No special. Special. Oh, here we go. Where's the ogre? This is really irritating me now. I don't know what's happening. That's what's happening. Highly frustrating. No bother, Mockingbird. Take it easy and Happy New Year to you and your family. Yeah, Twitch is pretty good for streaming, but it's not very good for streamers, per se. That's annoying, but I could feel it I could feel it. It wasn't very good. I just want to. I could feel that there was some stuff going wrong before that. And it's annoying. Because I don't understand why it's doing it when I'm going to stream. So I'm going to usual. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's going to reboot the game. I felt as if at the start of that it was pretty good, and yeah, I felt like it was a pretty good strike, pretty good connection. So what's everybody doing in game right now? You're leveling your hunter, man. Comp got you, mate. We'll get when I'm on tomorrow night. We'll go in and get some comp done. If you're up for that. I'm not saying you'll do any better with me, but I thought I needed to add that bit in at the end, but I'm a surgeon with a bow. I don't know if I've ever told you that. Taking a bow into comp. I might actually take the Wish Ender, and jeez, is it a one-hit kill? More or less? Oh. I'm only kidding. I'm just wondering. We'll give this one more go. Because it seems like a bit of a walk in the park, actually, the 950. You know, maybe the 980 is doable. There'll just be more champions, right? I just need to get better at taking the champions down with the gun. Because I could come in on the Titan and just shoulder charge them. But me and the Hunter and Me, the Hunter, and Savathans, we have history. Yeah, but I've got the bow on for the Unstoppable Ogres. That was smooth, right? That was smooth. Right off the sparrow, straight into the jump. Alright, okay. Alright. Do this a bit different this time, rather than wait until... Right, so... So what I'm noticing here is you're fine if you're... Right. That's better. That is a little bit better, says I. So what we'll do is we'll do that. Righty ho. Right up against this door. Okay. Never hit one crit there. Right, so let's take this champion now, right? No. And we'll do the same thing again with this guy. Just melt him with that. And we've got full ammo. Well, not quite. We'll just go up here and take the special. There we go. There we go. Not bad. Alright, there we go. Right. Right, there's another one up here, isn't there? Right, so what we'll do is... Oh, got to be careful now. Off the... Yeah. The Leviathan's Breath, yep. Leviathan's Breath, definitely good at staggering the definitely good at staggering the Unstoppables. Much better. Much better. Oh, wrong way. Right, so... Really? Come on. And now I'm getting special, which makes all the difference. So we'll just put that on there. Dropping ammunition in strikes makes all the difference. Right, so we've got a dude up here. Did he come back? Oh, he came back. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do with him. Is that. Because we know we've got special here. Like so. Hollywood grenade. No. See, I don't mind burning a little bit of this now because oh. I didn't mind burning a little bit because I had special. Do you have any tips for noobs with no DLCs? Okay. Any tips for doing what? Just in general for leveling up? For, you know... I would suggest learning the game. Sounded like a really knocky comment there. It wasn't meant to. I mean, there's so much you can do in this game. Did you get it new light? Random, did you get the game new light? Sorry, I wasn't being funny there. I didn't know if I'd actually called your name out. Ooh. I want him to go up top. Yeah, okay. Well, new light. Basically, there's a heap of content you can do in the game that doesn't need any DLCs. Now you've got the first two DLCs, right? Because they come with new light. So basically what you've got with new light is you've got D2 Year 1, so the base game of Destiny. You have Curse of Osiris, Warmind. And what we're going to do here, put that there. So there's a lot of exotic quests in the game. There's a lot of strikes in the game. So my suggestion would be, it literally just play through the content. I think with new light you get some of the Forsaken stuff. So you've got each planet has a world quest. So you've got 4 world quests to do. 3 of them are exotic. That I think the IO one isn't, but it gives you a pretty good linear fusion rifle, which is called the Man of War. So you've got that to do. You've got the campaign to do. There's quite a lot to do when you're, when you're just playing. Say you're just playing the new light. I mean, Like I'm saying, New Light's got quite a lot to do. So my suggestion for anybody that's just starting to play the game, enjoy the content. You know, there's a lot of nice strikes in the game, and so yeah, there's a lot for you to do, buddy. There is a lot to do, and I've just realised something here which is not good. As I'm so used to having I'm just so used to having a fastball on, and for some reason I tagged those wizards with, they were tagged with the it's a nightmare, because that's not doing a lot of damage. Yeah, well, one of the things that you're definitely, I'm gonna lose out about a minute here. One of the things you're definitely gonna have to do is level up. It's okay. Yeah. You'll get legendary items from Crucible for leveling up. That is I don't understand. Oh, God's sake. Right, I'll tell you what's happening here. And it's annoying. I'm so used to playing with fastball on. Hi Foxtrot Zero, how you doing, buddy? You alright? Thanks for checking in on the stream. Much appreciated. Right, okay. So, before I go back in there, make sure I've got fastball on. If you've just started the game, the best thing to do is to play through the campaign. That's number one. Beat the campaign. You know you've beat the original campaign when you beat Gaul or Gary on his ship. So just play through. Try and make sure. This is what I done when I was doing my first playthrough. Is try and make sure like you do public events. They're kind of things on the planets. You'll see them. They'll pop up. It'll be a flag. It'll come up like a kind of a blue kind of square on your map that you can go to in your area. And if you rally it, if you just run up to it, it'll give you your super and fill all your ammunition. You get XP from those things. You kind of want to make sure you're like level 10 before you come off the first planet. That'll help you no end. So just keep doing the stuff on Earth. Do patrols, do adventures when you get them. You unlock adventures as you go. And then follow the quest to Titan, then Nessus, then Io. That would be my suggestion. I'm wondering. Are you guys still seeing the stream?